Sir, you can start.
Will start, ma'am?
Yes, you can start.
Thanks a lot, both the beautiful ma'am. Biggest thanks to Mr. Piyush Pandit and Snigdha madam for the giving me a big opportunity on the IIO biggest platform. Also, a very warm welcome to all the joint guests from the India and other many countries on the Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube live. Regarding the International Internship University, IIU is the leading virtual education system and the global brand confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative program. Globally, it is a trusted name for quality training programs and is committed to the providing better and virtual education to all the young leaders to the global. IIO is the metropause, the conventional education system by cutting down the additional costs and providing access to the more than 1,000 plus courses and internship to their e-learners across the global with the help of its the 1,000 plus global educator. It is a short span of the time IIO has spread its wings in the 195 countries and five continents under the strong leaders of its a visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandey. Now, before we'll start today's my topic on e-commerce, oblique digital marketing, first we all the pray to the Almighty with my these the Sanskrit sloka, the Sanskrit language, world the oldest language, which is will also translate in English and Hindi to pray to Almighty God that everyone should be good. So, starting my chanting, Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Go Brahmanebhyah Subhavastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. The translation in English, may the well-being of all the people be the protected by the powerful and mighty leaders, be with the law and justice. May the success be with all divinity and scholars. May all the words become happy. इन हिंदी जो सभी लोगों की भलाई शक्तिशाली नेताओं द्वारा कानून और न्याय के साथ हो, सभी दिव्यांगों विद्वानों के साथ सफलता बनी रहे और सारा संसार सुखी रहे. Now G20 India hosting as a presidency. G20, the word is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This is the phrase from the Sanskrit. It translates one earth, one family, and one future. The slogan represents India's desires to collaborate with the other nations to create a better, more inclusive and sustainable world. The second beautiful Sanskrit sloka, Ayam Nijah Paroveti Garanam Laguchetasham Udarit Charitanam Tu Vasudhaiva Kutukam. For those whose heart is big, the whole earth is a family, and for those whose heart is small, they think it is their own, it is the alliance. Last, the Sanskrit phrase, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Shantu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhave, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May everybody be happy. May everybody be free from disease. May everybody have good luck. May none fall evil days. Be compassionate, friendly to all living beings. Who is blind? One who does the evil deeds. Who is deaf? One who does not listen to be the good. Who is mute? One who does not speak good at the right moment. This is the important. As is the mind, so is the speech, and is the speech, so is the action of the good people. There is uniformity in mind, speech, and action. Today, we'll not share any power presentation in front of you. Will try my best that all of you join kindly see, imagine, and listen my presentation and understand today's topic through only my neat and clean with my voiceover. You imagine that my voice is visualized to you. This is very important. Now, starting by today's topic, e-commerce. What is the e-commerce? Define the types, history, and examples. What is the electronic commerce? E-commerce means electronic commerce. Electronic commerce refers to companies and individuals that buy and sell goods and services over the internet. E-commerce operates in different types of market segments and can be conducted over computers, tablets, smartphone, and other smart devices. Nearly every imaginable products and services is available through the e-commerce transaction, including books, music, plane tickets, and financial services such as stock investing and online banking. As such, it is considered a very disruptive technology. Key take always, e-commerce is the buying and selling of goods and services over the internet. Second point, it is conducted over the computers, tablets, smartphones, and other smart devices. Almost anything can be purchased through the e-commerce today, which makes e-commerce highly competitive. It can be substitute for the bricks and mortar stores through the some business choose to maintain both. E-commerce operates in the several market segments, including business to customer, customer to customer, and customer to business. Now we come to understanding what is the e-commerce. As noted above, e-commerce is the process of the buying and selling tangible products and services online. It involves more than one party along with the exchange of the data or currency to process a transaction. It is a part of the greater industry that is known as electronic business, called short form e-business, which is involves are of the process of required to run a company online. E-commerce has helped business, especially those with a narrow reach like small business, gain access to and establish a wider market presence by the providing cheaper and more efficient distribution channels for their products or services. TGT, that means target supplemented, it is the bricks and mortar, the presence with an online store that allows the customer to purchase everything from the clothes and coffee makers to toothpaste, etc., and action figure right from their homes. Providing goods and services is not as easy as it may seem. It requires a lot of research about the products and services you wish to sell, the market audience, competition, as well as expected business cost. Once that determined, you need to come up with a name and set up a legal structure, such as corporation. Next, set up an e-commerce site with a payment gateway. For instance, the small business owner who runs a dress shop can set up a website promoting their clothing and other related products online and allow the customer to make payment with a credit card or through a payment process services such as internationally PayPal. E-commerce may be thought of a digital version of the mail order catalog shopping, also called online commerce. E-commerce is the transaction between the buyer and the seller that leverage technology. Now we go for the special consideration. The e-commerce has changed the way people shop and consume products and services. More people are turning to their computers and small devices to the order goods, which can easily be delivered to their homes. As such, it has disrupted the retail landscape. Many platforms like Amazon, Alibaba have gained considerable popularity, forcing traditional retailers to make changes to the way they do business. But that's not all. Not to be without done. Individual sellers have been increasingly engaged in the e-commerce transaction via their own personal website and digital marketplace, such as eBay, service as exchanges where multitudes of buyers and sellers come together to conduct business. History of now e-commerce is a very important line. How is the e-commerce developed? The history, most of us have shopped online for something at some point, which means that we have taken a part in the e-commerce. So it goes without saying that e-commerce is everywhere, but very few people may know that e-commerce has a history that goes back to before the internet began. E-commerce actually goes back to the 1960s when the companies used an electronic system called the electronic data interchanges to facilitate the transfer of documents. It was not until 1994 that the very first transaction took place. This involved the sale of the CD between the friends through an online retail website called Net Market. The industry has gone through so many changes since then, resulting in a great deal of evolution. Traditional bricks and mortars retailers were forced to embrace new technology in order to stay afloat as the companies like Alibaba, Amazon, eBay, and Etsy become the household name. This company created a virtual marketplace for the goods and services that consumers can easily access. New technology continues to make it easier for the pupil to do their online shopping. People can connect with the business through the smartphones and other devices and by the downloading apps to make purchase. The introduction of free shipping, which reduce costs for the consumers, has also helped increase the popularity of the e-commerce industry. After the COVID-19, e-commerce demand more internationally and nationally. Advantage and disadvantage of e-commerce we can discuss. Every product, everything is advantage and disadvantage. So now e-commerce, this is the convenience. E-commerce can occur but 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Although the e-commerce may take a lot of work, it is still possible to generate sales as you sleep or earn revenue while you are away from your store. Increased selection. Many stores offer the wider array of the products online than they carry in their bricks and counterparts, and many stores that slowly exist online may offer consumers exclusive inventory that is unavailable elsewhere. Potentially a lower startup cost. E-commerce company may require a warehouse or manufacturing site, but they usually do not need a physical storefront. The cost to the operate digitally is often less expensive than the needing to the pay rent, insurance, building, maintenance, and property tax, etc., etc. International sales. This is a very important line. As long as the e-commerce store can ship to the customer, an e-commerce company can sell to anyone in the world and isn't limited by the physical geography. Easier to retarget customer. As the customer borrows a digital storefront, it is easier to entice their attention towards the place. Advertisement, directed marketing campaigns, or pop-ups, especially aimed to a purpose. Now that there are certain drawbacks with the e-commerce that come with the e-commerce side too, the disadvantage, including also we discuss disadvantage, limited customer services. If you shop online for the computer, you cannot simply ask an employee to demonstrate a particular model's feature in person. And although some websites let you chat online with a staff member, this is not a typical practice. Lack of instant gratification. When you buy an item online, you must wait for it to be the shipped to your home or office. However, e-trailers like Amazon make the waiting game a little bit less painful by offering same-day delivery as a premium option for the select products. Inability to touch the products. Online imaging do not necessarily convey the whole story about an item. And so e-commerce purchase can be unsatisfying when the products receiving do not match customer expectations. Case in point, an item of the clothing may be the made for solidarier fabrics than its online imaging indication. Reliance on technology. If your website crashes, garners an overwhelming amount of the traffic, or must be temporarily taken down for any reason, your business is effectively closed until the e-commerce storefront is back. Higher competition, although the lower barriers to the entry regarding the low cost is an advantage. This means other competitors can easily enter the market. E-commerce companies must have mindful marketing strategy and remain diligent and SEO to ensure they maintain a digital presence. Now we discuss the pros. Owner can generate revenue semi-passive. Customer can easily browse for the specified products. Greater earning potential as there are no limitation on physical location as long as you can ship there. Reduce cost, assuming digital presence cost less than the building, insurance, tax, and repair. Greater market control including the data extraction from the customer, target ads, and pop-up placement. Now, cons. Cons is effective, limited customer service opportunities. There's a little to no face-to-face opportunity. Lacks instant gratification, and the customer must believe in the product before the seeing it in the person. Product can be seen or handled until delivery, cannot try before they buy. Loss of revenue or income when website go down. Highly reliance on the shipping concentrates. Higher competition due to the lower barriers of the entry and greater customer potential. Now we discuss how much type of e-commerce. So depending on the goods, services or organization of an e-commerce company, the business can opt to operate several different ways. Here are the several of the popular business model. First, we discuss the B2C. This call business to customer. The e-commerce company sell directly to the product and the user instead of distributing goods to the any intermediary. A B2C company performs transaction with the consumer that will ultimately use the good. This type of business model may be used to sell products like your local sporting goods store website or services such as a lawn care mobile app to reserve the landscaping services. This is the most common business model and is likely the concept most people think about when they hear the terms e-commerce. Second important, B2B means the business to business. Similar to B2C, business to customer, the business to business mean B2B. An e-commerce business can directly sell goods to a user. However, instead of the being a consumer, that user may be another company. B2B transaction often entail larger quantity, greater specification, and longer lead times. The company placing the order may also have the need to set recurring goods if the purchase is for a recurring manufacturing process. Next is coming B2G. This is the important business to government. It's called the some entities specialize as the government or India government or international any country's government contracts are providing goods or services to agency or administration. Similar to the B2B business to business model, the B2G business to government relationship, the business produces items to the value and remits those items to an entity. B2G means business to government. E-commerce company must often meet government requests for a proposal requirement, solicit bids for the projects, and meet very specific products or services criteria. In addition, There may be the joint government endeavors to solicit a single contract through a government-wide acquisition contract. Next is coming option is consumer to consumer. This call is C2C, consumer to consumer. In this case, established companies are the only entities that can sell things e-commerce platforms such as digital marketplaces, connect consumers with other consumers who can list their own products and execute their own sales. These C2C mean consumer to consumer platforms may be auction style listing. In this case, eBay auction or may warrant further discussion regarding the items or services being provided enabled by the technology. C2C e-commerce platform empower consumers to the both buy and sell without the need for the company. Next is coming option is consumer to business. This is called C2B, consumer to business. Modern platforms have allowed consumers to more easily engage with the companies and other their services, especially related to the short-term contacts. Freelancer opportunity, for example, considers listing on Upwork. A consumer may solicit bids or internet with the companies that needs particular jobs done. In this way, the e-commerce platform connects business with freelancer to enable consumer greater power to achieve pricing, scheduling, and employment demand. Next option coming is consumer to government, C2G, less of the traditional e-commerce relationship. Consumer can interact with the administration agency or government through C2G partnership. These partnerships are often not in the exchange of the services, but rather the transaction of obligation. For the example, uploading your federal tax return to the Internet Revenue Services, IRS, we call the IRS the short form Internet Revenue Services, digital website and e-commerce transaction regarding the exchange of the information. Alternative, you may pay your tuition to your university online or remit property tax assessments to your county assessor. Type of e-commerce revenue model. This is a very important chapter. In addition to the crafting, what types of e-commerce company a business wants to be, the business must decide how it wants to make the money. Due to the unique nature of the e-commerce, the business has a new option to how it wants to process the order, carry inventory, and ship products. Often considered one of the easier form of e-commerce, dropshipping allows a company to create a digital storefront, generate the sales, then rely on the supplier to provide the goods. When the generating the sales, the e-commerce company collect the payment via credit card, internationally, PayPal, cryptocurrency, or other means of the digital currency across internationally, nationally. Then the e-commerce store passes the order to the dropship supplier. The supplier manages inventory, oversees the warehouse of goods, packages the goods, and delivers the product to the purchaser. While the labeling e-commerce companies leverage already successful products sold by the another company, after the customer places an order, the e-commerce company receives the existing products, repackages the products with its own package and label, and distributes the products to the customer. Although the e-commerce company has little to no say in the products they receive, the company usually faces little to no in-house manufacturing concentrates. A more capital-intensive approach to the e-commerce, wholesaling the entails maintaining the quantities of the inventory, keeping the track of the customer orders, maintaining the customer shipping information, and typically have ownership of the warehouse space to house products. Wholesalers may charges bulk pricing to the retailer or unit price of the consumer. However, the broad approach to the wholesaling is to the connect to the buyer of the large quantities, or many smaller buyers of the similar standardized product. Now, the private labeling is a more appropriate e-commerce approach for the companies that may not have the large upfront capital or do not have their own factory space to manufacture goods. Private label e-commerce companies send a plant to a contracted manufacturer who makes the product. The manufacturer may also have the ability to ship directly to a customer or ship directly to the company receiving the order. The method of e-commerce is the best suited for company that may receiving on-demand order with a short turnaround times but are unable to handle the capital expenditure requirement. Now, the e-commerce company can also leverage a repeating order or loyal the customer by implementing subscription services. For the fixed price, the e-commerce company will assemble a package, introduce the new products, and incentive the looking to a long-term agreement at the lower monthly prices. The consumer only the places an order once and receive their subscription order as a fixed cadence. Common subscription e-commerce products include the meal, prep services, agriculture boxes, fashion boxes, health, grooming products, auditable items. Now we can go for example of the e-commerce. Like one name, big name is Amazon. Is the behemoth is the e-commerce space. In fact, it is the world largest online retailer and continue to grow. As such, it is a huge disruptor in the retail industry, forcing some major retailers to rethink their strategy and shift their focus. The company launched its business with an e-commerce based model of online sales and product delivery. It was founded by Jeff because in the 1994 as an online bookstore, but has since expanded to include everything from the clothing to housewares, power tools to food and drink and electronics items. We discussed Amazon. The company sales increased by the 9% in 2022 approximate and then 2023 approximate 11 percentage more previous year, totaling 513.98 billion dollars compared to the 469.82 billion dollars in 2021. Amazon operating income dropped by the 24.88 billion dollars in 2021 to 12.25 billion dollars in 2022. The company posted a net loss 2.72 billion dollars in 2022 compared to the net income of the 33.36 billion in 2021. So how do you start e-commerce business? This is now the newcomers, housewife, anyone start. Okay, how can we start the e-commerce business? So make sure you do your research before you start your business. Figure out what product and services you are going to sell and look into the market, target audience, competition, and expected cost. Next, come up with a name, choose a business structure, and get the necessary documents, taxpayer and numbers, licenses, and permits if they apply. Before you start selling, decide on a platform and design your website or have someone to do it for you. Remember to keep everything simple at the beginning and make sure you use as many channels as you can do market your business so it can grow. What is an e-commerce website? An e-commerce website is any site that allows you to buy and sell products and services online. Companies like Amazon, Alibaba, etc. are examples of e-commerce websites. Now, question, what is the difference between e-commerce and e-business? This is the fundamental important thing. What is the difference, e-commerce and e-business? The e-commerce involves the purchase and sales of the goods and services online and is actually just one part of e-business. And e-business involves the entire process of the running a company online. Put simply, it's all of the activities that take place with an online business. What is an example of e-commerce? The dollar saved the club offers customer personal grooming, health and beauty products. Customer can opt for what products they want shipped to them and can sign up for the long-term membership to have the products sent to them on a recurring basis. Dollar save the club procures goods in the bulk from other company that the bundles those products, maintains the membership, subscription and other markets the product. We already discussed you the what are the types of e-commerce and e-commerce. The company can sell the customer business or agencies such as the government. E-commerce can also be performed by the customer who sell to the business, other customer or government. Now the bottom line, e-commerce is just one part of the running an e-business. While the latter involves the entire process of running a business online, e-commerce simply refers to the sale of goods and services via the internet. E-commerce companies like Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, and etc. have changed the way the retail industry works, forcing major traditional retailers to change the way they do business. Is starting an e-commerce site is something you are considering, make sure you do your research before you start your business. And make sure you start with a small, narrow focus to ensure that you have room to grow. Now, what are the recent trend in e-commerce? All of you want to know, okay, what is the running recent trend in e-commerce nowadays? So the first point, the artificial AI intelligence, artificial intelligence for personalization, the hybrid commerce, augmented and virtual reality, customer relationship management, customer support and priority, social commerce, subscription model, headline commerce. Now my in topic, I will question himself and also the answer himself. So you can imagine what are the seven type of e-commerce. Uh, Earlier told you that B2C is the business to consumer, B2B is the business to business, B2B2C. This is the 3 point business to customer. This is B2, B2C. B2G business to government already discussed you. C2B consumer to business. These 2C, this is important, direct to consumer, and C2C is the consumer to consumer. Now, what are the five main category for the e-commerce? This is the important question. In e-commerce, there are the five different B2C business models like direct sellers, online intermediaries, advertising based, community based, and fee based. Direct selling is the most common model. What is the future of e-commerce nowadays? Anyone, all of you question me, what is the future of the e-commerce? The e-commerce is a promising future as a new technology and commercial breakthrough open up several growth opportunities. It is an interesting and diversified market to start a business. However, it may also be the very competitive, given the growing number of e-commerce websites. Next question, hope you questioned me, what is the e-commerce called now? E-commerce is the buying and selling of goods or services via the internet and the transfer of the money and data to complete the sale. It's also known as electronic commerce or internet commerce. Today we are in running 2023. So what is the e-commerce in 2023? In 2023, we can expect to see continued growth in the social commerce, personalization, AR/VR, subscription services, and sustainable ethical shopping practices. Retailer who stay ahead of these trends and provided exceptional consumer experiences will be well positioned and success in the year to come. Now, what is the future of e-commerce in India? We discuss in India what is the e-commerce future coming years. The Indian e-commerce market is expected to reach $170 billion by 2025. important line. Once again, I clear the Indian e-commerce market is expected to reach $170 billion by the 2025, as per the Bain record. India's online shopper base to reach nearly 500 to 600 million by 2030 and become the second largest globally IBEF. Why is the e-commerce popular today? Is the next question. Hope you questioned me. Through the year, the e-commerce giant like Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, etc., have the risen to become the household names throughout the world. The success and popularity of the online shopping can be attributed to the few factors, including convenience, accessibility, and changing consumer behavior. One important thing we'll discuss with you, okay, what are the three elements of the e-commerce? Very important thing. Customer experience, backend integration, and digital marketing. What is the largest type of e-commerce? We discuss many things, B2B, B2C, B2B, B2C, B2G. But the important largest type of e-commerce name is B2B, business to business e-commerce. How many e-commerce are there? There are an estimated 12 million to 24 million e-commerce sites across the entire global, with the more and more being created every single day. 12 million to 24 million e-commerce sites across the entire global. What is the 4C in e-commerce? Important. What is the three element? We already discussed the customer experience, backend integration, digital marketing. So same thing. What is the 4C is in e-commerce? The intersection of the 4C number is content, second is creators, third is community, and last and not the least is commerce has led to the social commerce. What is the 5C model of e-commerce? This is important. The 5C are the company, collaborators, customers, competitors, and contacts. The initial step is to understand what such represents and how it might help your business. Marketing, the 5C marketing framework can help a business understand its position in the marketplace. What is the trend of e-commerce in India 2023? B2C e-commerce market in India expected to grow 10.75% an annual basis to the reach 1073 billion US dollar in 2023. The medium to the long-term growth story of the B2C e-commerce industry is India promising to be the attractive. What are the limitation? Anything is a limitation. What are the limitations of the e-commerce? Limitation important is the security. Is a very big security is very important for the e-commerce. Then the lack of privacy, tax issues, fears, product sustainability, cultural obstacles, high labor costs, legal issue. What will Indian e-commerce be by 2030? According to the report, uh, India government, B2C e-commerce is expected to grow 5 to 6 times to USD dollar 350 to 380 billion by 2030, from around 60 to 65 billion USD in 2022. The report estimates B2B e-commerce to grow 13 to 40 times to 105 to 120 billion USD from the around 8 to 9 billion USD dollar in 2022. It's the biggest area. Which is e-commerce is the best in India point of view? The main will discuss Amazon India, then Flipkart, Nyapka, India Market, Mizo, First Cry, Book My Show, OLX, Make My Trip, AGO, a top 10 company. Now, all of you study in your school days, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. This is the alphabet. Now we take alphabet to combine this e-commerce business. How can alphabet join e-commerce? We discuss in my this A. A first alphabet is A testing, a competitive test that company to variant A plus B to analysis which one perform better, also known as split testing. Then A account balance, revenue generated during the current payout period. Then account update services. A services provided by the credit card issuer to the update changes in the card numbers and expiration due to the replacement, reissued accounts closure, upgrades, etc. Account receivable, payment due to the merchants from the issuing bank after the customers complete a purchase. The terms varies between the banks, so it is usually range from 1 day to several weeks. Now, if account takeover, a form of identity fraud, is CH payment. This is the electronic payment gateway made via the automated clearing house called ACH, automated clearing house network between the two bank accounts. Next, A for acquiring bank, the financier entity which process transaction on the behalf of merchant, sometimes referred to as acquired. Next, the address verification system, the system used to verify the billing address and the card holders. Next, A for the affiliated, agents who promoted and sell the products of other merchants in the return of the compensation. Next, affiliated marketing, the form of marketing where the business involved agents who drive the sales or leads on their behalf. Next, for affiliated networking, the platform that acts as intermediaries between the merchant and agents. That agile the methodology, software development practices based on the flexible and independent cross-functional teams. Next, analytic, the methodology of the collating and analysis data to the find information to the support decision-making process. Next, the A we call annual contract value, ACV, the metric which indicates the average annual revenue of the individual customer contact. Next, we call the annual recurring revenue, that 8RR. This the metric is derived by the multiplying the recurring monthly revenue by the 12 months, typically used by the subscription-based e-commerce entities. Next, we call A for the application programming interface, they call API, a code that establishing the set of the rules and commands which allows the two software applications to communicate with each other. Next, the application security, the protocol designed to prevent the hijacking of the codes and data from their application. Next, A for the arbitration, a non-blinding mechanism designed to resolve dispute between end user and merchants. Next, A for the artificial intelligence, AI in the field of computer science, which attempts to replicate human intelligence in the machines and computers. Next is authorization date, ratio to the successful transaction. Auto renewal, the billing model, where the charges are predictably made in the customer accounts via the existing payment database. Automated workflows, the process that identifies and automation repetitive and time-consuming manual tasking using technology solution. Average order value, we call is AOV, average amount of individual purchase the per individual customer. Now we can come A alphabet to B, the B2B, business to business, we already business to customer, backend system, software which support the back office, application like sales, inventory, ordering, a payroll, bank identification number called the BIN, this first 4 to 6 digit of credit or debit card, this can be usually to identify the card issuing bank. Then B, behavior biometrics, revolutionary cybersecurity technology that identifies people using the browsing habits, signature analysis, mouse use analysis, etc. Then the billing called invoicing, billing currency, the currency which the transaction used and payment is made in, this spans across the customer, merchants, and issuing the bank. Then biometrics, physically aspects such as fingerprints, facial recognition, or voice
authorization, which are usually to digitally identify the human. Bricks browser pop-up, call it the browser pop-up, a secondary browser window which open independent of user request, typically displays the advertisement, can contain the malicious pop-ups, bulk ordering a large volume of conduct. Next, we call a buyer journey, a customer pathway to purchase. This can be broken down into the three stages, namely awareness, consideration, and decision. Now, the next alphabet is C. The C, call to action, they call we CTA, call to action, a market message that triggers conversation. It may include the text image, video, or voice. Captive pricing, pricing strategy that offer the low price for the core products. However, the prices for the products essential to the core products are then the market. Example, printer and printer cartridge, etc. Next, the C is the capture, or we call settlement. A credit or debit card transaction between the end user and merchant that are the recorded and sent to the issuing bank. Next, C for the card not present, this call we CNP. A transaction over the internet, mail or phone, where the credit or debit card information is exchanged without the presence of the physical card. Card scheme, a central payment network for the payment card between the acquiring banks and issuing banks. The networks are managed by the card branded like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, etc., which charge a fee of between the 0.02% and to 0.04% per transaction. Next, C for card testing, when the criminals use a variety of technology techniques of uncovered whether information from the stole card can be used for fraud. Cardholder name, the name of the owner of the debit or credit card. The name is typically printed on the front of the card. Cardholder verification method, called we CVM, the process used by the card issuer to authenticate the legitimacy of the cardholder performed during the point of sales. Method of the use included, but not limited to signature uh, and OTP, one-time password called OTP. Next, the card abandonment. When the customer exits the merchant website after the adding product to their cart, the usual reason include but are not limited to expensive shipping, card type not supported, or invalid discounted voucher. Next, card optimization, the conversion technique to reduce the card abandonment rate. Example of the card optimization include in the constantly visibly dynamic card icons, guest checkouts, and form autofills. Next is channel management, optimization and administration of the multiple sales channels such as printers, social media, and affiliates to the reach specific target demographical. Next, C for the channel manager, as automated tools which facilitated sales and products or services across all the sales channels critical for industries such as hospitality, tourism, and services. Chargeback, when an issuing bank revokes the payment made to the merchants due to the customer dispute. Next is chargeback rates. Chargeback rates is the ratios of percentage of the chargeback against the total number of transactions. Merchants with a high chargeback rate are flagged. Chatbot, predictive or AI-powered program which responds to the customer common queries on website via the chat widgets functions. Next is checking accounts, a short-term liquid accounts in the banking which allow the frequent withdrawal and deposits. Checkout, the second last stage of the typical e-commerce flow where the customer finalize their purchase right before the submitting their payments and shipping details. Churn prevention is the important thing. A strategy of retaining customer extremely important for the subscription-based business model. Churn rate attrition, the ratios of the percentage of churn against the successful retention. Co-termination, the consideration of multiple services from the single vendor or the merchant into the single account, typically to align the period of the service contracts or subscription cycles. Now the conversion rate, the ratios of percentage of the action taken such as the purchase, opt-ins, and following the funnel links against the total number of visitors to be the web poverty. Next is the credit card authorization and electronic request sent to the card system to authenticate whether the credit card account is allowed to perform a transaction and has sufficient credit for purchase or verification. Now, the customer acquisition cost, we call it the CAC, the per capita cost of every new customer acquired during the specified period of the campaign. The cost is calculated by the dividing total expenditure during a specified period of the campaign with the total number of new customers acquired. Now we call customer relationship management, we call the CRM, a set of practices and technology applications such as Freshworks, Salesforce, and HubSpot for the managing interaction with the customer and prospects. The spans of from the quotes and ordering to deliver and after sales services. Next alphabet is coming D, days sales outstanding. The big important thing, the DSO, days sales outstanding. In this continue point, the average number of days required for the company to collect the payment of the sales or services has been completed. Delayed delivery transaction, when the delivery is not made after the consumer made an initially payment, such payments are usually made as deposit. Digital wallet, a digital wallet version of your finance instrument like credit, debit cards, and cryptocurrency. Popular digital wallets include the Google Pay, Apple Pay, and Electrum, also referred to as an e-wallet. Next is dunning management and automated recurring billing solution for the hard declines, enables the smart retires of charges at intervals. Now the next alphabet is coming E. E for e-commerce platform and end-to-end software which allows organization to create and manage e-commerce stores. E-commerce platform are typically delivered by cloud and on a premises platform. Popular platform included Mangato, Salesforce, Commerce Cloud, Shopify, Storms, WooCommerce, etc., etc., etc. Expired card handling and automation process that identifies expired credit cards enables payment services provided to update newly expired dates in their databases. Very useful for subscription-based services and deferred or installment payment scheme. Now the next alphabet comes as F, FinTech. The FinTech portament of the world financial and technology and umbrella terms used for the startups in the e-commerce and financial sectors. Fraud. F for fraud. Activity designed to the device online but changed to accept the fraudulent transaction. Next alphabet comes is G. G for General Data Protection Regulation, called short form is GDPR. A legislation designated to protect the privacy of EU civilization, effective as of 25 May 2018. Growth hacking, accelerate testing and trials in the various channels and funnels to the help business grow quickly. Now next alphabet is coming H, hard decline, a permanent and irrevocable authorization failure. It usually involves accounts that have been closed or cards that have been stolen. Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure HTTPS enhance the security protocol between the merchants, website, and server. Now, next alphabet is I. This is called Independent Sale Organization, called short form is ISO. Marketing agency that promotes and signs merchants to accept debit and credit cards on behalf of the acquiring banks. Influencer marketing, a marketing discipline which uses endorsement and a mention from the influencer to drive engagement and sales. Issuing bank, banks or financial institution which issue the credit card to end user. Next alphabet is J. J call for JavaScript, a computer language that is designed especially for the internet. This is scripting the language to the backbone of the many major e-commerce portals. Next alphabet is coming for K. That means Key Performance Indicator, KPI. Quantifiable metrics which are used to measure the performance of the employee, companies, partners, and make over the period. The metrics may include financial traffic, production, revenue, and cost data. Knowledge assets, data that makes up an organization business function include the employee, organizational, customers, and framework the data. Next alphabet come L. L for localization. Adopting the content such as text, video, and audio to the new markets. Aside from the language transition, local culture is also taken into the consideration. Next alphabet is M. M for merchants. The terms used to describe online sellers or vendors who accept the credit or debit cards payments from the customer and submit them to the acquiring banks. Merchant accounts. Each approved merchant is provided with a single account. The account will be used to conduct authorization, transaction, settlement, and other related functions. Payment from the issuing bank will also be sent to the account. Merchant's category code, called short form is the MCC, a four-digit code issued by the credit card company, which already told in my earlier to merchants to categorization the type of business. Next is merchant discount rate. Important thing, the fees of between 1% up to 3% apply to the each transaction submitted by the merchants. Next, monetization model, the umbrella term to describe how organization generates the revenue, may include sales of the products or services, ads, subscription, sponsorship, etc. Next alphabet is come N for native advertisement, paid advertisement frequency, describe and sponsored content. Native advertisement is similar to the editorials, but more emphasis is given to the blend with the hosting platform. Native advertisement can be the form of the text, audio, and video. Net promoter scores called NPS, a metric used to the major customer experience and satisfaction and their likelihood promoting your business to their social circle. Next alphabet is O on premises called software that is accessed from the vendor server instead of the customer computer or servers. For example, Microsoft 365 or Adobe Creative Cloud. Next alphabet is coming P, the payment card industry data security standard called PCI, established by the payment card industry security standard council and consists of the sum of the biggest brand in the card payment solution designated to the reduce instance of the debit and credit card fraud. Next, P for the payment gateway serves servers that routes sensitive transaction details to the acquiring banks and rerouted the responses for issuing bank. Payment processor, a service platform which the facilitated communication between the merchant issuing bank, acquiring bank, and vice versa, sometimes referred to as the merchant services. And point of sale, the call is the POS. Traditional point of sale is the physical location of where the customer present merchants with the credit card at cash register. E-commerce POS can refer to checkouts or once data has been received by payment service provided. Next alphabet is Q. We call quarterly recurring revenue, called short form is the QRR, a metric used to do calculated or call estimate the revenue generated by the single customer in one annual quarter. Next alphabet is R. R means recurring billing, a scheduled billing that occurs over the period of time, usually involve subscription and installment, the plan, not be confused with the recurring in transaction. Recurring revenue call a company projected revenue based on the expected revenue billing. Next are for recurring transaction. This is the payment that are split over the duration of the time, typically involve the deposit or milestone the payment. Next is R for refund, reimbursement of the funds from the merchant to customer, usually due to product or service defect. Renewal, a manual or automated process taken to renewal existing subscription. Next alphabet is the S, called sales channel, medium to get product to the services to the customer. This may include field sales, the inside sales, and website sales, also known as the distribution channel. Sales receipt, a record either in the form of the paper or electronic of the complete sales transaction. Search engine optimization, they call SEO, the market and technical discipline, which aims to drive the organic traffic to the website by improving their search engine ranking. SEO, this is called the copywriting. SEO, the search engine optimization. Copywriting is the technique of the writing content based on the historical search engine data and standard industry practices. Shipping, the process of delivering physically product to the buyer, rarely included shipping. Shoppers, the customer who makes the purchase from the merchants. This is called the swapper split payment when the purchase is paid using more than one credit card or payment method. Sponsored merchant which contain to the select payment service provided for the access to payment services. Now, next alphabet is T, called tax. This is important. Revenue generated. Any government required tax, the sale tax, a legislated tariff levied on the every transaction payable to the government. Transaction settlement, when the customer issuing the bank sends the payment to the merchant via the payment process. Transition to the subscription, a change from the payment licensing the model to a subscription-based model instead of the making a one-off the payment are the converted into the monthly subscription. Trial, a marketing strategy which offer customer free access to the product or services for a defined period of time. Next alphabet is U for upselling. Just like McDonald's, we take an example for the McDonald's, a sales strategy that attempts to increase order value by introducing the more products or services during checkout, using billing, billing model that is reliant of customer volume of use, also known as metered billing. Next alphabet is called V for victory also. Voice shipping, sales support in the form of virtual assistant, normally in the form of chat box. Voice activate banking, allow the customer to access their bank accounts using voice verification and command. Next and last alphabet, as per my, is W. This call is waterfall methodology, a linear and subsequent sequential approach to the management characterization by the cascading effect to the triggering the start of the new project based on the competition of previous project. Now W is over, X, Y, Z is blank. Now, last not the least, before close and zip my lips, thanks a lot once again from my bottom of the heart to all the guests who joined live on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. Also, with all the respected members, founder Piyush Panditji, Snigdha ma'am, and other IIU from India, along with internationally. I am also so sorry if I have made a mistake in any type like mind, speech, action, and sign within the topic of today. Thanks a lot. With everyone, stay healthy, busy, and happy. Namaskar. Thank you very much.